significant risks of medical treatment. While medicines have led to major improvement in the treatment and control of diseases, they also produce adverse effects on the human body from time to time. While many drugs are precisely targeted to the causes and mechanisms of disease, they may also have minor or distressing effects on other parts of the body, or interact negatively with the systems of the particular individual or with other drugs or substances they are taking, or not work well or at all for some, many or all of those who take them for illness. There are risks in any intrusion into the human body, whether chemical or surgical. Nothing in this field is entirely predictable, as the interaction between chemicals and the human body may produce surprises. Left square bracket edit right square bracket terms commonly used in drug safety. Benefits are commonly expressed as the proven therapeutic good of a product, but should also include the patient's subjective assessment of its effects. Risk is the probability of harm being caused, usually expressed as a percent or ratio of the treated population. The probability of an occurrence. Harm is the nature and extent of the actual damage that could be caused. It should not be confused with risk. Effectiveness is used to express the extent to which a drug works under real-world circumstances, that is, clinical practice, not clinical trials. Efficacy is used to express the extent to which a drug works under ideal circumstances, that is, in clinical trials. Left square bracket edit right square bracket finding the risks of drugs. Pharmaceutical companies are required by law in all countries to perform clinical trials, testing new drugs on people, before they are made generally available. The manufacturers or their agents usually select a representative sample of patients for whom the drug is designed, at most a few thousand, along with a comparable control group. The control group may receive a placebo and/or another drug that is already marketed for the disease. The purpose of clinical trials is to discover if the drug works and how well, if it has any harmful effects, and its benefit-harm risk profile. Does it do more good than harm, and how much more? If it has a potential for harm, how probable, and how serious is the harm? Clinical trials do, in general, tell us a good deal about how well a drug works and what potential harm it may cause. They provide information which should be reliable for larger populations with the same characteristics as the trial group, age, gender, state of health, ethnic origin, and so on. The variables in a clinical trial are specified and controlled, and the results relate only to the population of which the trial group is a representative sample. A clinical trial can never tell you the whole story of the effects of a drug in all situations. In fact, there is nothing that could tell you the whole story, but a clinical trial must tell you enough being determined by legislation and by contemporary judgments about the acceptable balance of benefit and harm. Left square bracket edit right square bracket. Spontaneous reporting. Spontaneous reporting is the core data-generating system of international pharmacovigilance. Left square bracket edit right square bracket other reporting methods. Some countries legally oblige spontaneous reporting by physicians. In most countries, manufacturers are required to submit reports they receive from healthcare providers to the national authority. Others have intensive, focused programs concentrating on new drugs, or on controversial drugs, or on the prescribing habit.